My name's Hutch, and I make Call of Duty videos, and I put them on the internet. I'm bringing the gameplay commentary back, guys. It's time. It's time to bring it back. I vow to start a revolution that will change the way that gameplay videos are made in 2019. And the way that I'm going to do that is by regressing back to an old format that was used 10 years ago. We're doing it. I'm bringing it back. But before we get into today's topic, I want to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's video, which is Totinos, in a partnership with Modern Warfare. For a limited time only, they're offering double XP codes that are good for 30 minutes. You can find them in the 120 count packages of pepperoni, 3 meat, and combo. Guys, Totinos is the perfect snack for gameplay, and you can find them at Walmart. Okay, I've been playing in the Call of Duty series for about 12 years now. I've been playing game battles with Call of Duty for about the same time. It was about a year after I started playing COD that I got into playing game battles, which is just basically, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just a competitive form of Call of Duty. Think of it like an intramural softball league. You sign up for this website, you make a team, and then you challenge other teams, and then you play, and you get XP, and there's a leaderboard, and it's a ton of fun. For the most part, pretty much the whole time we've played Search and Destroy. And during that time, I've always liked to use unorthodox weapons. So the MP5 in Black Ops 1 was a really good weapon, I thought. Same with the Galil, same with the AK. And I would use the AUG instead of the FAMAS or something like that. I tend to try to use guns that aren't the main meta in the game because it's just more interesting that way. And in doing so, I think I encounter different weapons and different opportunities, possibilities that I think a lot of the pros miss. And I'm not saying I know more about Call of Duty than someone like Scump or Formal. I'm sure they have very good reasons for not using this gun over something like an M4. But I am going to try to make a case for you guys right now that the Odin is not only a good gun, but it's one of the best guns in the game, and I think it could be viable in competition, particularly in Search and Destroy. And I'm going to explain to you guys why right now. First of all, this gun is a fully automatic AR that's a one-shot headshot. Granted, the rate of fire is super slow, and if you don't have the gun spec'd for recoil, it's going to bounce quite a bit, and the recoil is going to be difficult to manage. But it is a one-shot headshot, which is something that I don't know if we've ever had that in a Call of Duty. Like, can you name one full auto AR that was in a COD before? Something like the FAMAS in Black Ops 1 or the M16 in COD 4. That was a one-shot headshot. I just don't think we've ever had that before. They kind of threw everything through the kitchen sink at everything in this game. It seems like they took the philosophy of just make everything overpowered or make everything feel really strong instead of nerfing the really good guns until every gun feels average. And I, for one, support that. I think that perfect weapon balance in Call of Duty is kind of boring because then, I don't know, it's just kind of boring to me. Something that's interesting, like I was just saying a moment ago, is the challenge that you get by challenging somebody else who's using something like an MP4, an MP5 or an M4, challenging them with something like an Uzi or a P90 and then winning that gunfight. There's something about that that's really satisfying to me as a Call of Duty player. The Odin particularly shines in Search and Destroy. This is a game that, by their own standards, by their own admission, caters more towards power position, holding lanes, camping, in layman's terms. You're going to do a lot of just sitting around and waiting for people to run by you, or waiting until you hear some footsteps off in the distance, or something like that. And in that respect, the Odin really shines, especially on this map. You have these really long lines of sight, either at the train tracks or in the mine carts or in the B lane where there's the ramp going up to B bomb site. You could be watching forests from blue crates. There's so many opportunities for you to post up and just wait for someone to walk into your reticle, into your line of sight. Now, it's true that if you get caught with your pants down and your whole team has fallen, it's a 4v4 game and now it's 1v4 and you got to try to break a site, you're going to have a really hard time doing that with the Odin, especially when you're up against fully auto guns that kill really fast like they do in this game. But it's not impossible. And as long as you have good teammates and as long as you don't make it a habit of being the last one alive all the time, then it shouldn't be too difficult. That's pretty much the only weakness, and that's what I think is probably my best guess as to why more pros don't use this gun. is because it is somewhat limited, whereas a gun like the M4 is insanely versatile. Some might even say overpowered. It's very good at close range, very good at medium range, and it's really not bad at all at long range, whereas the Odin is really good at long range, really good at medium range, and really struggles in close quarters combat with going up against some of the other guns in this game. And then you have the addition of the newest gun that they just added a couple days ago, as of the time that I'm recording this, the MTAR, or otherwise known as the Ram 7 in this game. It's sort of a hybrid between an SMG and an AR. I'm going to be messing around with that gun a lot in competitive to see how it does up against the M4 and the MP5. I have a feeling it's going to do really well. But right now, I really like having the Odin in my back pocket, especially on maps like Arklov Peak, Gunrunner, like I already told you a moment ago. St. Petrograd, it can do really well, especially if you're watching spawn on either side, or if you're watching for flankers or something like that. There's just so many, and Crash is another really good map for the Odin. Like, there's just so many maps that seem just perfectly catered for this weapon, and I want to see, I'm trying to do my best right now to persuade as many of you guys to give this gun a shot, so when we're out there playing this game, we don't always just run into the same guns all the time. Listen, I understand that the M4 is a really good gun. I understand that your KD is probably going to be a little bit better if you use that gun or the MP5, but there are a ton of unappreciated guns in this game. And even if you're playing in a competitive setting, you can make guns that aren't the typical meta work in a way that makes it fun, interesting, refreshing, exciting, that sort of thing. I am happy that they've added a couple guns already. I would have liked to have seen a couple more, but if you take a look at the pace at how they're releasing content right now, it does seem like if they keep this pace the whole time, there's going to be a ton of content dropping for this game all the time, like once or twice a month. There is either going to be some new map or some new ground war map, some 2v2 map. I don't really play 2v2 that much, but I am interested somewhat in playing it. And as long as you give us like a couple new weapons each month, or one weapon each month, then I have a feeling this game is going to stay fresh for quite some time. Say what you will about some of the design decisions that they've made, the patches that they've released. The game could probably use another tuning, or another round of tuning when it comes to issues like footsteps. Maybe some issues like gun balance. I'm glad that the 7.25 got the nerf that it did. But I am very excited to see the trajectory of this game. I personally am having a blast playing this game in competitive settings. Pubs have some issues right now, but competitive has been a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.